It's the Bush administration 3. And Chrysler going bankrupt. None of this is in the news now. It's all, is it the end of the world? So let me just go through some of this, okay? Because, again, they cry wolf. They say it's the end of the world, basically. We say, well, the government's saying it's the end of the world. This is clearly a designer virus. We got to watch this. This is serious because they may move on us right now with martial law. And these globalists are eugenicists who've done all this chemical, biological, radiological testing on us in the past. We need to take what they're saying serious. But we believe it's a hoax. Well, it's now becoming more and more clear, thank God, it is a hoax. But that's just the lesser of two evils because we know that it's a hoax for them beta testing their federalization and their takeover and coming martial law, what could be in the fall of the winter of this year into early next year, and they even admit they're beta testing that. So here's the fear-mongering at work. Now thousands go off work with swine flu sickness all over England, 1/3 of people not showing up at work, people everywhere wearing masks. But they drink their sodium fluoride water every day and take all their vaccines. Hong Kong seals off hotel where H1N1 flu found. This thing's a mild flu. Doesn't matter, total panic. They're grabbing women off planes in Boston from Germany, just freaking out, panicking, hand-wringing over all of this. And here's the AP article on it. World Health Organization discussing raising alert level to 6. The government's already got us under level 6. That's what the document says, is that we're really already at level 6, but we think they're going to declare it in the next 90-something hours. That was Wednesday. See, they always do that. When they used to say we were at a level, a yellow level, we were at orange with the fake war on terror thing. The documents came out, the White House admitted in press briefings in the AP that it was for political gain. They're even that arrogant. Yeah, we're doing that to get stuff off the front pages. Yeah, we're doing that to fearmonger. Swine flu fears prompt global quarantine. What, did they go to level 6? Okay, well, we'll see what's going on there. Okay. So, where was I? So they're fear-mongering all of this. Here it is. Governor Linda Lingle says the World Health Organization is considering raising the pandemic level to 6, the highest level, indicating a global outbreak of swine flu. And under that, potentially, this is what the powers declare, forced inoculation, secret arrest, lockdowns of entire buildings, towns, cities, counties, states. We've covered that in past shows, but I'm going to go back over it tonight. And they've got them on Fox and CNN and MSNBC and Time and Newsweek and CBS. In fact, cue up that Fox for later when they're talking about martial law. Thanks. But regardless, they're acclimating, they're introducing off of something they knew was no big deal, off of something they knew was a very, very mild flu, clearly designer, though. That's what actually scared the first scientists who saw it and weren't part of it, was because Obama admitted today, what I've been saying all week, it has no pedigree. They always have strains that grow and mutate, but are only slightly different each mutation. This thing is completely different, completely new, wrong hemisphere, wrong time of year, clearly engineered with all the markers. And there's all these foreign top scientists saying it, but you say it in the U.S., you get attacked. I have been attacked by MSNBC and a bunch of other publications, CNN, the last few days, just because they don't like it that we're here pointing out the fear-mongering they're engaged in. So, they're saying they're considering going to level 6. The info we've got in this document, and you can call the doctor. We published his full name, wrote an article about it. You can call the doctor on there. We didn't black out his name. There was a lot of folks at the meeting. They can't tell who gave this to us. And this goes through the whole thing, how it's a much worse flu, and how there's people on ventilators, and how it's so incredibly deadly. And this is a doctor with the state, and that the infection rate's 40 to 50% instead of 10 to 15% with regular flus, and it spreads so fast. And this came out Wednesday night before it was announced the baby was dead. It's got it in there about the toddler. And so we go on air and we say, look, it's probably a hoax. But the government, in Mexico, why is Mexico locking everything down? Why are they panicking for 60-something deaths when they have thousands and thousands every year? Why is this happening? Why is our government doing this? Why is the whole world doing this? Because the whole world's going into the New World Order. They're setting up the Bank of the World. They're setting up the new global currency. They're passing the carbon taxes right now. All of this is happening. And so this is a beta test for larger controlled bioweapon releases in the future. During the night, we crossed the threshold from the definition of the World Health Organization, Phase 6 global pandemic. This has not happened in any of our lifetimes so far. We are uncharted territory. I expect President Obama will declare emergency sometime the next 70 to 96 hours. And it goes on. I suggest we all avoid public gatherings, outdoor activities, something Biden said. Tamiflu is running out, on and on and on. Now, meanwhile, they're setting up tent cities in the town where I live and all over the country. I'm sure you've seen it on your local news. These tent cities with the army walking around with machine guns. Okay, so we'll continue here. At CDC, war against flu doesn't stop. Oh, they're taking care of us at the CDC. Who brought us so many controlled plagues. Remember, this is the government that gives black men syphilis and radiates foster children with radiation and does all the chemical testing, Project Shad. CNN anchor and guest warned pandemic could be like 1918. There's CNN. I mean, just unbelievable. Number of confirmed H1N1 cases worldwide soars. They're all over the news right now. Ah, it's soaring. Ah. Meanwhile, they say confirmed 10 deaths, but thousands have it. Oh, my God, we're all screwed. It says, walking well flood hospitals without flu systems, with or without flu symptoms. And this article from CNN's like acting like the public, they always create the fear and the panic, and then they always act like the public did it, and the public who got scared, and the public who took it serious are a bunch of kooks. They got headlines like, greatest threat to humanity. You just Google that on Google News, you'll see it. Greatest threat to humanity. Tens of millions to die. It's all over. Oh, my God. And anybody who's got to have a brain has to take the government serious, even if they always are lying and hoaxing. We're like, well, God almighty, I hope this is a hoax, but we better watch it. Think of the crime that's been committed. Think what they've done. Think how outrageous this is. In fact, roll in the background for me, guys, when you find that article. Roll the Austin tent cities for folks. The pandemic centers with a bunch of hypochondriacs showing up at them, who then the media makes fun of after they fearmongered. Political lies and media disinformation regarding the swine flu pandemic. Excellent article by Michelle Chossudovsky, posted up at Infowars.com, Professor Chossudovsky. And he goes through their quotes. Sustained human-to-human spread in at least 2 countries. Global outbreak of the disease is imminent. Spread the virus is unlikely to stop. The global outbreak is imminent. All countries should activate preparedness plans. The worst health crisis facing the world in 90 years. These are UN statements of their fear-mongering. And the Mexican government, guaranteed in consultation with the U.S., knows they're on the verge of being overthrown as the economies collapse. And so this is going to be their unification tactic, mass plagues. This is going to be the fear-mongering of them, the threat of the real release. You try to overthrow this criminal government, they're going to release bioweapons and then use that as their cover for martial law. They're not just going to march right out and have martial law. It's like when they have Marine Corps checkpoints and Army checkpoints now, and governors tell them stop doing it, and they say go to hell, kiss my butt. They say, oh, well, we're just out helping at DWI checkpoints, the armed Marines. You're not for drunks, are you? Oh, we're just out helping after the mass shooting in Alabama, the regular Army is. Oh, you're not for mass shooters, are you? Oh, we're just out at car wrecks with the Jaws of Life, with Starflight, Army helicopters. We're just here. The Army's just here to help. That's to acclimate the troops, the public, the police. That's how they roll that out. Well, with this, you start trying to overthrow the New World Order, arrest the bankers. They start threatening to release. They start hyping bioweapons and terrorism and wars and natural flus, and this thing's clearly manufactured, but again, to only freak out real scientists and doctors at the grassroots to think it's some deadly thing because they've never seen it before. My God, this thing has no pedigree. This is completely manufactured. It's totally manufactured. But excellent article that breaks it down just on the incredible fear-mongering with confirmed 10 to 12 deaths. Different articles say 10, some say 12. And this thing has a 9-day incubation. I've got mainstream articles here where they admit they knew all about it. March 18th, U.S. companies had cultured it. They knew all about it. I guess not cultured, had replicated it. They had identified it. They knew what was going on. They understood it. They knew it was no big deal. They knew people had been sick for months in Mexico with it. There's a regular flu outbreak down there of regular flus that are always killing people in Mexico City. I mean, Mexico City, you're a poor family. They'll let you and your kids just starve to death on the side of the road. I mean, that's going on. So the world comes to a stop. We forget about all the big issues because there's been 12 deaths. But again, why is the government and the media hyping this? Because it gets everything off the front pages and gets you ready for the real deal in the future.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?